Several counties in the United States have building codes that exist only on paper. The county cannot afford an inspector, or the population is spread across terrain too vast to monitor. Land in some sells for under $3,000 an acre. Property taxes on a 10-acre parcel can run under $200 annually. The counties listed below have documented regulatory environments where off-grid construction is either explicitly permitted or effectively unenforced. 7 locations below, ranked from least to most practically complete. Like this video if the legal framework was the part nobody covered. Subscribe because the state-level version of this list is longer. 7. Presidio County, Texas. Presidio County covers 3,800 square miles of far west Texas along the Rio Grande with roughly 6,700 people. Land runs $1,500 to $5,000 per acre. Building codes outside incorporated areas are minimal. Enforcement is absent. No budget, no staff. Alternative structures and shipping container builds are common. Solar output is among the highest in the continental United States. Well drilling runs $15,000 to $35,000 with variable water table depth. Composting toilets are standard. Property taxes around 2% of assessed value. Summer temperatures exceed 110 degrees. Border Patrol operates throughout the county. Marfa is 60 miles from Presidio. The regulatory freedom and the conditions that produced it arrived together. 6. Luna County, New Mexico. Luna County runs along the New Mexico border with around 25,000 people, most concentrated in Deming. Outside Deming, the county is effectively unmonitored. Land ranges $2,000 to $6,000 per acre. Building codes exist. Enforcement outside town limits is minimal. Well drilling costs $12,000 to $25,000. Composting systems are standard. Property taxes under 1% of assessed value. Proximity to Deming is the distinguishing factor. Supply runs are 20 minutes. The water table is under pressure from agricultural use and population growth, making well viability a time-sensitive calculation. Enforcement on unpermitted construction has been increasing. Luna County is at the accessible end of the off-grid spectrum. The regulatory environment is currently permissive. Direction of travel is toward more oversight. 5. Catron County, New Mexico. Catron County covers 6,900 square miles in western New Mexico with approximately 3,500 residents, among the lowest densities of any county in the contiguous United States. Land runs $1,000 to $3,000 per acre. Enforcement is functionally zero. No inspector budget. Terrain that makes site visits impractical. Well drilling costs in $10,000 to $25,000. Property taxes run under 1% on cheap land, placing annual bills between $100 and $300. Elevation across much of the county exceeds 7,000 feet. Pine forest and four-season weather rather than desert. Growing season is short. Socorro, the nearest town with meaningful services, is approximately 2 hours away. Emergency response times are measured in hours. Near total construction freedom and near total isolation arrive as a package. That relationship is structural. Enforcing codes across 6,900 square miles with 3,500 people is an arithmetic impossibility. 4. Harney County, Oregon. Harney County covers 10,228 square miles, larger than Maryland, with approximately 7,500 residents, nearly all in Burns. Outside Burns, density drops below 1 person per square mile. Land runs $1,000 to $3,000 per acre. Oregon's baseline regulatory framework is stricter than Nevada or New Mexico, but Harney County's geography makes consistent enforcement impossible. Well drilling costs $10,000 to $25,000. Property taxes under 1.2% of assessed value. Boise is 3 hours away. Winter temperatures drop well below zero. The growing season is short. What Harney County offers that the southern desert counties cannot is reliable water availability in some areas, and a climate that, while genuinely harsh in winter, does not produce the dangerous summer heat that limits outdoor work windows in Texas and Nevada. The trade-off is a shorter growing season and winter conditions requiring serious structural insulation. 3. Costilla County, Colorado. Costilla County sits on the Colorado-New Mexico border. Colorado's least populated county, fewer than 4,000 residents. Land runs $1,500 to $5,000 per acre, the cheapest in Colorado by a substantial margin. Enforcement outside tiny incorporated areas is effectively zero. Well drilling costs $10,000 to $20,000. Property taxes under 0.6% of assessed value. The Sangre de Cristo range at these land prices does not exist anywhere else in the state. The trade is the county's economic condition. Costilla is Colorado's poorest county, with unemployment and poverty rates that reflect decades of limited activity. Trinidad is 45 miles away. Taos is 60. Winters are harsh at elevation. The freedom is genuine. The poverty surrounding it is also genuine and not incidental. 2. Brewster County, Texas. Brewster County is Texas's largest at 6,200 square miles with roughly 9,200 residents. Land runs $1,000 to $5,000 per acre. Enforcement is functionally absent. No practical mechanism to inspect construction across 6,200 square miles of Chihuahuan desert. Solar output exceeds 300 days annually. Well drilling runs $15,000 to $30,000 with no water guarantee. Desert geology is uneven and some projects fail. Property taxes around 2% of assessed value. The Terlingua community includes an established population of artists and off-grid residents dating to the 1970s. Social infrastructure that reduces the isolation variable compared to the other Texas counties on this list. Alpine, the nearest supply town, is 80 miles away. Summer temperatures exceed 110 degrees. Water is a defining constraint on every build in the county. The county's size and the Terlingua community's established presence make Brewster different in character from Presidio. There are people here who have been solving the same problems for decades and are willing to share what they learned. 1. Elko County, Nevada. Elko County covers 17,203 square miles in northeast Nevada with approximately 53,000 people, most in Elko City. Outside incorporated areas, enforcement is minimal. Land runs $1,000 to $4,000 per acre. Well drilling costs $12,000 to $30,000. Water availability is more reliable than in southern Nevada. Ruby Valley and surrounding areas carry underground water at workable depth. Property taxes around 0.8% of assessed value. Elko City has a hospital, grocery stores, and hardware suppliers. Most remote parcels sit 30 to 60 minutes from town. Summer is high but not dangerous. Winter is harsh with extended sub-zero periods. An established off-grid population runs along the Interstate 80 corridor and through Ruby Valley. Nye County to the south offers more absolute freedom. Essentially no building codes across thousands of square miles of desert. Elko County does not match that. The trade is a county where off-grid construction is tolerated, water is accessible at reasonable drilling depth, and a city with a hospital and hardware stores is within an hour's drive. That specific combination, regulatory tolerance plus functional proximity, does not exist elsewhere on this list. 7 counties. The pattern is consistent. Regulatory freedom exists where population density makes enforcement impractical and county budgets cannot support inspection staff. The counties with the most freedom are the most remote, the most environmentally challenging, or the poorest. That is the mechanism, not a coincidence. Elko County sits at the top because it offers tolerance alongside infrastructure that makes long-term residency viable. The others offer more freedom and less of everything else. Like this video if the trade-off framing was useful. Subscribe because the state-level version of this list is longer.